Pull me close and put your arms around me. Put your arms around me. No greater feeling than the love you give, baby.
I wanna love you, girl, like you never been loved before. Give you all your heart's desires and leave you wanting more. Yeah, you have my heart. All I am is yours. Baby, your search is over. You don't have to look no more. Just let me love you till the mood has gone away. Let me love you as the night turns into day. Let me love you till your heart is hurt no more. Let me love you. A world of love we can explore together. I've been looking for someone who will love me. Yeah. In a room full of people, you're the one I see. You're the one I see. And when we speak to each other, it's magnetic. It's magnetic. I know without a doubt you're the one I wanna please.
Baby, when you're next to me, I feel butterflies inside. I can't believe our chemistry is so hot, should be a crime. Yeah, they can say what they want. My love is yours forevermore. You can always trust in me, cause my love is guaranteed.
Just let me love you.
Let me love you
till the moon has gone away. Let me love you as the night turns into day. Let me love you.
You won't hurt no
till your heart is hurt no more. Let me love you. A world of love we can explore together.
Come on, baby.
Hey, yeah.
You know what I want.
Purchase your tracks today.
I wanna love you.
Let me love you.
So what you wanna do?
Come on. Let me love you.
Make me love you
till the moon has gone away. Let me love you. Let me love you as the night turns into day. Let me love you till your heart is hurt no more. Let me love you. A world of love we can explore. Let me love you till the moon has gone away. Let me love you. I wanna as the night turns into day. Let me love you till your heart is hurt no more. Let me love you. A world of love we can explore together.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on? Hello, hello, hello. It's your girl, Diamond Butterfly.
And T.Wade.
We are live and outside today. So if you hear some background noise, if you hear some cars going by, you hear some music, you might hear some people talking. It's okay.
It's okay.
Because we are live and we are outside today.
We live and outside.
We just enjoying the day, and we said, why not do our show
on the porch?
On the porch.
On the porch.
Because it's hot. It's hot in the house. Listen, it's hot.
We could have did it in the house. We got AC, but
why run the electricity
when you can do the fresh air?
Right. So that's what we doing.
That's
so
what we
if
doing.
y'all hear a little sun, just ignore it. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. So what's good with you, Tony?
Oh no, what's good with you? There's a lot good. There's a lot good. There's a lot bad, but there's a lot good.
There's a lot bad. Wait, hold up. Pump the brakes. There's a lot bad.
Listen, I'm snapping into a Slim Jim because I'm hungry right now. You know, got some little drink going on here. You know, I got lemonade and a couple other little things. You know, we trying to just get loose today. We trying to talk about some things today, man. We gonna cover some stuff.
We're gonna touch on a topic.
A topic.
We're gonna touch on a topic. On a topic that we touched on before, but we're gonna dive back into it because a lot of our topics come from our conversation. You know, we be in the car, we just be chilling, we be talking, or we be watching a movie or something. We be like, you know what? We should talk about that.
We should talk about that.
We should bring that to the people.
So
we're bringing it to the people. You the peoples. We're bringing it to you. If you see me looking down or leaning over, you know, we gotta multitask here. We gotta invite people. We gotta chat with people. We got people leaving comments. So if you are watching from Facebook, if you are watching from YouTube, we appreciate you being here. Invite a friend, hit the share button if you're on YouTube, especially. Even if you're watching from Facebook, hit that share button, tag a friend, bring some people in so that we can talk on this conversation. Like I said, we appreciate you guys being here. Welcome to the show. Thanks, like we said, live and outside.
Live and outside.
Thank you for being. So what are we talking about today, baby?
Well, today I asked my wife a question.
Yes, you did.
I asked my wife a question. That started the whole conversation. I asked her a question. And that question was, what was that question? No, that question.
Well, he asked me 2 questions trying to get to the real question.
I did. And the questions are getting all kind of frazzled. But at the end of the day, what I asked was what she felt I needed whenever I'm going through something. Like, if I'm having a hard day, if I'm stressed out, if I'm full of anguish, anxiety, if I'm just not in the right frame as my spouse, because we married, this can work when you're dating. But I asked her what it was that she could do for me, what it was that she would do for me,
what he thought I needed
from
him, what I thought he needed from me.
What was it that she thought I needed in order to help me out? And it's a big question. It's one that we don't ask each other a lot. I'm talking in terms of people as a whole.
In general,
we don't ask that question. So I decided to ask her because I ain't ashamed. I go to therapy. It's what I do. Like, I need people to talk to other than my wife, So it's like, my therapist was like, okay, when you're going through, what does your wife do for you? And I asked her that question. Now, what was your answer? What did you give me for an answer?
I don't know. I don't know what he needs from me. I can speculate, because it started off with, what if someone was to ask me what I thought he didn't need in his life, what would I say? And I'm thinking, like, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, he's thinking about gifts. Like, if somebody was like, what does Tony not need any more of?
No, where did your mind end up going?
Well, no, the first thing I said was stress. Like, he don't need no stress. But I'm like,
you did say that.
I did say that. And I was like, but everybody stresses unless you can figure out a way to let stuff just slide off your back and not, you're just happy no matter what. Like, you just not going to, you always going to have some type of stress. So then he changed it to, no, that's not what I mean. And then that's when he said, what do you think I need? He said, what do you think I need more of from you? He said, what do you think I need from you when I'm going through? And I said, sex. And he was like, why you say sex? I'm like, well, because guys in general say sex is the key to everything that's ailing them.
She went there.
I went there. Because I was like, guys say if your man is happy, that means she ain't doing it enough. She ain't giving it to you enough. If he break up with you, it's probably because you wasn't putting out. If ladies, we done seen all the videos and all of the talks and all of the things about you supposed to make sure he got some before he leave the house. He ain't supposed to go to bed without having some. Whenever he's in a bad mood, you're supposed to give him some. So basically, we just supposed to be a walking, talking, open our legs whenever something's wrong with the man type of person, is the way other men make it seem. And I was like, most men are not going to say, baby, I need some, or baby, you're not giving me enough, or baby, I need more. Most men aren't going to say that. They'll say in generalized statements and generalized terms, like, yeah, ladies these days ain't putting out like they used to. They'll say it like that, but they won't generally go to their woman and say that. Tony is not, even if he was not getting it as much as he would like, it's like maybe a 2% chance that he's ever going to be like, yo, Kai, I'm saying, it's been like 3 weeks. Like, what's going on? What's up? He ain't gonna say that. And truth be told, transparency, because that's what we do here. Okay. We just moved into this house, so it has been like 3 weeks. It has been like 3 weeks. Like, he ain't got nothing since we've been in this new house. So
probably 4 weeks. The week before was busy.
We was busy.
Pack everything up. We had no room to do that.
Right. So transparency moment. He could be one of them dudes that be like, look, I'm this close to calling Karen up. No, but because he know that
Karen?
would kill him. You know, he'd be. I'm sorry. I would unalive him. Sorry, Facebook.
Oh shoot!
Now, if he turns up on the live, y'all gonna be like, "Yo, go check out that live." She said she's gonna do it. No, but yeah. So that's where that's where I went right away. One, transparency. I know me. I know I am sick. Oh, what am I thinking now? I am sick all the time. I am dealing with a lot, and so my husband, being who my husband is, he's not going to be like, "Oh, my baby left the hospital. She was in the ER all night, but I'm feeling kind of, so baby tap me on the shoulder, baby roll over." That's not my husband. So I happen to have a man. Unfortunately, he happens to have a wife that, as time has gone on, she's gotten sicker and sicker, and there's not a time when I'm not in pain. And I'll be like, "Babe, I'm always in pain. If that's the case, you ain't never gonna get none." And he's like, "But I don't want, and you're owing and oohing, and I don't know if it's from me or if it's what." So it just makes me sad. So a lot of times we don't. And there's a lot of time. And I am not, like, I posted a question a while ago, years ago, in this group, like, who initiates? And of course, the guys were like, "What do you mean initiate? We just do it." So that means you're the initiator. The initiator is the person that starts. Like, nobody initiates. Two people just get together. No, because there's always some things. Not always. I hate when I say always. That means 100%. There is usually somebody who starts the process. Somebody who is like the person to give the first kiss or the first rub or the first look or whatever it is. Somebody is the initiator to let the other person know, I'm kind of feeling this type of way. Okay. So when I ask the question, like, are men more initiative, or is it women? Or who is the initiator in your relationship? I am not. I am more of a hint person. And, I'm more of I took a shower. I'm taking like 45 minutes to put lotion on my toes, like, hint, hint. I'm still sitting here on the bed in my birthday suit. Hello, type of person.
But that's not what this is about. So we're not.
No, but it's about communication. It is about communications, and it's about effective communication. So that can play into that. You know what I mean? No matter what, not just when your person is going through something bad, or the world has been pounding down on their head and they're coming to you like, "Babe, this and that."
But the question does come as to whether or not
exactly
what is your partner is dealing with, and do you know how to effectively help them through what it is that they're going through? Because a lot of people are in a relationship and they don't really know what their significant other or their spouse are going through, and they do not know exactly how to administer the help that person needs.
And a lot of people don't know what they need. Because what did you say you needed from me?
See?
What did you say?
I don't know that we got that far.
We did. The same thing you said you told Sarah. What did you say? What did you say you needed from me?
No, I told Sarah that you were there. I told her that you. Yeah, I did.
See, he said he don't know.
What did I say then?
I just told you.
What?
You don't know.
Well, I don't.
He said he doesn't know what he needs from me.
Sarah asked me. Sarah's my therapist. When Sarah asked me what my wife helps me with or does for me when I'm in those modes, I literally didn't have an answer. Like, I told her that she's always there. She listens to me. She, we have great conversation, which that takes time to learn how to speak to your spouse. But when I'm asked that question, I'm like, okay, well, that's a loaded question for me, because I don't really ask of much other than for her to be there, and I ask for her to pretty much give me some type of validation on how I'm feeling. Not necessarily, and I told her that's not meaning that, okay, when Tony opens his mouth, he's correct. I need to make sure he feels and knows he's correct in what he's thinking or saying.
if I'm going through something, I need validation on my feelings and stuff, as far as understanding, as far as, you know, looking at what it is I'm going through and being there for me in the moment. And people can say, well, what does that mean to be there for you? That could be different for everybody. For me, I just need her to be, I don't need her to make me feel like I'm wrong for the feelings that I may have. Because her and I agreed years ago, if you have feelings on something, your feelings are yours. It doesn't make you wrong because you have those feelings. We've always said that. Now, the reason why you feel those feelings could be misinterpreted and could be wrong. But the fact that you feel a particular way, that's based on your thought in your heart. So basically, you're feeling something that you feel is valid for you. If it's valid for you, it's valid for you. Like, that's how you feel. So I can't tell her feelings are wrong. I can tell her that she had a misunderstanding which caused those feelings. So then it's up to her, it becomes her choice to change up on those feelings. But at the end of the day, that's what I need from her. Like, I need her to validate that, yes, I do have feelings. Yes, there's a situation. Maybe even talk to me about that situation and help me, just maybe see things in a different light, but be there for me. Don't be accusatory. Don't fault find with me. Don't, well, maybe if you didn't do this, or maybe if you did that, you wouldn't feel that way. Don't need all that. Don't need all that when I'm going through, especially if it doesn't have to do with her. And I dare say that 8 out of 10 times it's not her that I'm going through something with. The other 2%, maybe. But it's normally not her. I could be going through something at work. I could be going through something with a family member. I could be going through something with my health. There's 50 million things I could be going through. So I'm trying to sort that out, and I'm feeling down, out, frustrated, aggravated, the whole 8. I'm feeling it all. And I just need my wife to be my, what the Bible calls, help me. Be my helpmate. Like, be there for me. That's what I need.
And that help looks different, like you said. It looks different for everybody. And what we've said on several shows, not through our shows, my show, LHG shows, Fred shows. These are other hosts on Trailblazers Network. When we talk about communication, these are things that you want to talk about early when we're speaking about a relationship. These are things that you should get out of the way early in a relationship. These are things that you should talk about, but people don't talk about what are your triggers. People don't talk about what are your past. People don't talk about, how do you show anger? How do you show fear? How am I going to know when you're happy? How am I going to know when you're sad? What do you need from me when you're sad? Like, what do you need me to do? We don't talk about these things. And us women, we have got to stop making our men or men in general feel like they're supposed to be mind readers. They should already know. You're my man. How you don't know? Because you never told him. He is not a mind reader. He does not have that power. He cannot just read your mind and know, oh, she's upset, so I should X, Y, and Z. How does he know that? You know what I mean? Maybe with his past girl, when she was mad, she needed space. So he tries to give you space, and you're like, you act like you don't even care about me. I'm over here all upset, and you go into the other room because maybe you need him to come to you. Maybe you need him to hold you. Maybe you need him to talk about it. But because you never communicated that with him, he's going off based off of what he knows, and vice versa. Mm-hmm. But listen, you cannot assume that your partner is a mind reader and they know everything about you just because y'all been together for a few years. It doesn't mean anything, because if y'all haven't had the conversation, how do they know?
Yeah. Point in case, I come home, I've had a hard day at work, and I need to decompress. So my thing is to find quiet, because I work in a place where the decimal level is crazy and could probably make you deaf. And I'm around hundreds of people a day. So the noise, the people around me, I get home, that's my safe haven. That's my quiet spot. That's my, not that I'm not happy to see my wife, but I'm like, okay, I need some quiet. I need to decompress. I need to gather myself and have a moment where I can relax. So that's what I end up doing. And to her, it may come across as I don't want to be bothered,
Right.
or I didn't miss her, or I'll come in the house, even if I say hi, give her a kiss, and then go about my business. Still, with her, it's you ain't even interact with me. You haven't. And granted, I probably should be that person that's like, you know what, babe, how was your day? How are you doing? But sometimes I get caught in me. I don't want to keep it real. Sometimes I get caught in my day and what it is I've gone through. So it's hard. It's very hard to look at a situation from any other angle because I've already gone through 11 hours at work. I'm tired. You know what I mean? So I'm like, what do I do to regroup? What do I do to re-energize? What do I do to rest and relax? Because I need that. So it's not that I don't love her. It's not that I'm not caring about her. It's not that I don't want to spend time with her. It's like I need to decompress, and that comes with communication.
Right.
And I don't always communicate effectively. I'm a lovable guy, but I don't always communicate to my wife effectively.
And vice versa.
Yeah. And there's a lot of, I don't want to speak for you, but there's a lot of guys out there that don't, I speak for the males populace, and we don't communicate effectively because we are from a different angle.
We see things differently.
We do.
Like we were saying, like Tony and I were saying, it's hard. Well, it's not even that it's hard. It's that we are not taught to see things from anybody else's point of view but our own. So when people are talking, like Tony says, or even we say it to each other, are you listening or are you hearing me? And hearing somebody, like when you're listening to respond. Like, let me make sure that I get my, nah, that ain't right. Let me jump in and correct them. Nah. But they might have been able to fix what they were saying. They might have been more of an explanation. But because we continually interrupt people, we continually got to jump in and get our point across, we're cutting off what they're saying. So we're really not listening. We're really not hearing, forgive me. We're listening, but we're listening to make sure that I can say what I got to say. I can jump in. Right. We're not hearing. We're not taught to see things through other people's perspectives. If we could learn how to listen, how to hear what somebody is saying and listen from their point of view, we might have less issues. And then also not taking away from learning how to effectively communicate. Because it makes sense to you does not mean it makes sense to the person that you're saying it to. So learning the person that you are talking to, not just it definitely, your spouse, but also your children, your siblings, the people that you deal with on a day-to-day basis, learning how does this person communicate? What are some of the things that I've noticed about this person? And then the same thing on the other side when you're hearing somebody talk to you, like, Tony, we've been, we just moved. We got a lot of stuff going on. He's got health stuff. I've got health stuff. He said he's miserable right now, not happy. Now, the me wanted to be like, what? Oh, so I ain't making you happy? Oh, so ain't nothing making you happy right now? Oh, so you miserable, right? Okay. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I would normally do. I know something about moving changes me. It's like I always want to do a new thing when we move.
Yeah, me too. I always want this is new.
This is new. I don't want to bring the old stuff into the new place.
Now remember, that's where I'm at when you say, because she's quick to be like, when I want to make changes, especially right now, she quick with, but you used to, you saying all that, and you getting on everybody else for X, Y, and Z, but you did that. When did I do it? In the old house when we were over. But I'm trying to do a new thing.
Got you.
So now you understand. Okay. See,
so
that's the communication.
That's that communication thing. See, so the new me was like, nah, maybe he's not including you in this he's miserable thing. So I just listened. I didn't say anything. I just listened, and there were a few things that he said in the midst of his conversation that I wanted. You know, the old me was like that double dutch, like, okay, I'm about to jump in. I see it. It's my turn to go. It's my turn to say. But I was like, nope, we're gonna sit still. We're gonna be quiet. We're just gonna listen. We're going to hear what he's saying and try to hear from his point of view. And we're gonna wait until there's a pause. You gotta wait till there's a pause. Wait till there's a pause. And see, he do this. He be waiting forever. Like I be done talking, and then like 5 minutes later, he still ain't said something. So then I'd be like, so are you gonna say now? I was waiting until you was done. Like, dude, I ain't said nothing in 10 minutes. What you talking about? But that's a different conversation. But so, you know, I got to learn what was making him upset. Now, that was on me, right? That's me effectively listening, hearing what he's saying. Now, my point to him was communication on his part would have been knowing, like he said, he didn't really want to say anything to me because he knew when he said what he said, it was going to trigger something in me.
That's so knowing your spouse.
Yes.
That's knowing the person you're dealing with. That's knowing. Now, I went into that knowing, okay, there's a possibility that I'm going to hurt her with this because she might take it wrong.
More than likely, it's going to take it wrong.
There was a point where I'm like, if I say this, it might hurt her. There was a point where it's like, okay, if I say this, she might reach for the frying pan. But I was instructed, you need to open up and speak your mind and say what your feelings are because you have a right to do that. And she should be the one person that you literally can do that with. So I'm trying to communicate with her in a different way now so that she knows exactly where my headspace is. She knows where my heart is. And that's what we do. And I avoid it for years. And like we've been together for 100 years. Okay, so it's been like almost 16 years. Yeah. But we've been together for a minute now, and I'm still learning some tricks. I'm still learning how to deal with some things. And I have to learn how to talk to her. And I wasn't one in all these years to open up to her because I learned her behaviors in the beginning. So I know what her triggers are. I also know what I probably shouldn't come up with. And then there was the flip side to that, which is if I say something and she doesn't like it, then it may cause an issue. And I don't feel like fighting with my wife. I don't feel like arguing with her, especially over miscommunicated stuff, which is a whole nother situation that we will cover. But like, I pretty much don't want to do it. Like, she's quick. I don't know if it's all women. I don't know if it's all of y'all. But let me tell you something. When I have a conversation with this woman, she literally will dissect every syllable that I have said. And if I say something that's not quite right, because men, sometimes we say things, but we don't say them the right way, and she catches everything that I could have said differently, but didn't say it that way. And she doesn't just let it pass normally. Normally, she will address what I said that she didn't feel was said right. So that's another reason why Tony wasn't saying much. When it came to communication, still a work in progress because Tony is going to be quiet because I am not the one to want to argue with her. I don't want to argue with her, not because I'm afraid I'm going to lose, but that's my everything. And I know it's going to be days of us being our pins and needles when I argue with her. So no, I'm not going to argue with her. I'm just going to be quiet, retreat. Babe, what's wrong with you? Nothing. I'm good. I did it without the thumbs up, but that you get the hint. Like, that's what I did. So now I'm trying to go into the unleash your feelings in a proper way, but definitely let her know where you're at because she should be the one that you're able to do that with. So going back to what she said, because I didn't mean to cut her off, but that's huge right there.
I mean, effective communication it's something that's learned. You have to want to, it's a two-person thing. The listener has to be willing to take the speaking in consideration. Like maybe they're saying something that's triggering you, and then knowing your own triggers. You know what I mean? You have to know yourself as well to know, am I upset really by what this person said, or is it something that they said that triggered something from my past and me that is making me react the way that I am? Do I think that this man is telling me that he's miserable and I make him totally unhappy and he can't stand life right now? Or do I think that there's something else going on and he's mad or he's upset or there's other stuff in his life that's making him feel that way? Would I have liked it if he said it a little bit better? That was the one thing that I said, okay, so if you know your wife, then you know, if you just come to me and say, babe, I'm miserable, I'm going to take it personally. But if you say, babe, I got to talk to you, I'm really, really unhappy. It's not about you. We are good. There's nothing that you've done that's made me feel this way, but there's other stuff. Then now I'm not going to take it personal. He still got to say what he needed to say, but he took my feelings into consideration. So it can go either way. Like both people have to be willing to look and hear and listen. Me, do I think he's telling me that I make him miserable? Him, is there a way that I can word this in a way that cuts away anything that she might preconceive about what I'm saying? Because yes, I am one of the people that'll be like, that's not what you said.
Oh yeah.
You said you was completely miserable and nothing in your life was going well right now. That's what you said, but I didn't mean you, but you didn't say it wasn't me. That's what, that's where my head is normally going to go. So it's a learning. People aren't just born effective communicators. We are taught how to communicate. We are taught, how to deal with our emotions. Some of us are not taught how to deal with our emotions. Then we enter into school and we start dealing with other people, and those people cause us harm, which affects our ability, to communicate. Some people are taught, you got to be a yes person. Whatever somebody wants, that's what you do. So you get those people who are people pleasers. They throw their own feelings and their own wants and desires under the rug to make everybody else happy. That was me. And I was literally taught that. Like, I was taught to be quiet. I was taught my emotions and my feelings and my wants don't matter. Even if what somebody else is doing is hurtful to me, who cares? Don't nobody care about what you feel about. Matter of fact, you're crying. You're making me feel bad. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, wow. That is what was told to me. Don't cry. You're making me feel bad.
That's crazy.
So I had to learn that it's okay to have feelings. It's okay to express your feelings. It's okay to have wants and desires and to express them. And then at the same time, it's also okay for me to say, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to go there. That's too much on my plate. I can't do this right now. I don't like what you just said. I don't like how you said it. There's a lot of things at 51 years old that I'm still learning how to do, So knowing your partner or the person that you're speaking to, you may not know them that intimately, but just taking it like decency, the decency thing is just, this whole take me as I am. I ain't changing for nobody. You either like what I said or you don't. I'm going to tell it to you how it is. But let somebody tell it to you how it is. Now you got a problem. Why can't people tell you how it is, but you can tell everybody else how it is? Like, come on, man. Make it make sense.
It's funny. I thought about that saying just a couple of days ago. Make it make sense. Some things you can't make sense. Some things just don't make sense. So me telling you make it make sense is basically me telling you it don't make sense.
Right. It don't make sense.
And some things you can't make sense of. Some things you just can't. And one of the things that you can make sense of is your relationship. If you have communication, you can communicate what you need and what you don't need. Like, she could have asked me the same question. If I'm going through, what do I need? Now, I can tell her what I believe she needs.
What do you think I need?
I can tell you that, one, like me, she needs to be heard. You need to listen to her, understand. You need to reaffirm that it's going to be okay with her, because she doesn't always see the bright side. I need to be able to have a conversation with her about what it is that she's feeling. Maybe rub her back as we talk, because she's going through. You know what I mean? I know that for me, I need to cater to the sensitive side of Kaiksa. I need to make sure that she's comfortable. I need to be able to help her relax through what it is that she's going through, whatever she's feeling. I need to have a total understanding of what that is and let her just vent. Because, like she said, which I learned, she hasn't always been able to do that. So I need to do that. And then let her know that I'm there for her. That's what I give her. If she's going through something, I come home and she's got a story, even if I'm at work. And she texts me like, the doctor said this, I'm feeling that, or I'm stressed about those things. Okay, well, let's talk about it. And I try to be on her side, whether I feel like she's right or not. Let me be on her side to the point to where she knows I'm there for her. I'm there for you. Yeah. Sometimes she's right. Most definitely. Sometimes she's right. So it's like, okay, then I can hit it home. Babe, you don't worry about that. We got this. You don't have to worry about that. This, that, and the other. You know what I mean? But the baseline of it all is I let her know I'm there for her. Let her know that I care about her and go from there.
Today was a prime example. We had our whole day. We left the house at 10:30 this morning. We didn't get back home till 6. 6 o'clock.
Well, actually, 6.
Yeah. It was like somewhere around 6?
Yeah, around 6.
10:30 this morning till 6 o'clock tonight. We were gone. Doctor's appointments all day long. All day long. We made one stop at Walmart. I think we got something to eat, but that was in between appointments. Like one appointment, he came home, grabbed me, went to another appointment. We had a little bit of time in between another appointment, like just back-to-back appointments all day long. And my first appointment, which was after his first appointment, I thought, if you've seen my page, I had a nerve stimulator put in my thigh. It worked for the trial, 10-day trial. It worked. When they went and implanted it, it never worked. It took them like a year to figure out that the stupid thing shifted, and it didn't work because it shifted, and they couldn't go back in and replant it in the right spot because they just couldn't do it. So it's been sitting in my leg now for like 2 years. And I was like, so, can we take this thing out? Like, it's just, they're like, oh, you can just leave it. Like, it's not doing anything. Why would I want some foreign piece of whatever in my body that's not doing for me? It shows up on x-rays and things. I'm like, no, I don't want that in me. So I finally went there. I happened to be there to see a different doctor and was like, yeah, can we make this appointment so we can get this thing taken out of my leg? They're like, okay. Called, made the appointment. They called me. So I'm thinking the appointment is to go take this thing out of my leg. Long story short, we get there and the girl is like, yeah, so you're here today to talk about taking the thing out of your leg. I'm like, wait, what? Talk about it? Why would I thought we were here to take it out. And she's like, no, this is just a consult. Took like 5 minutes. Doctor comes in, yeah, so you want to take the thing out of your leg? Yeah. I saw you were at the doctor. I had both my knees replaced. We had a little conversation about that. And he's like, yeah, okay, so they'll call you once we get approval to take it out. So I'm looking at my husband now, like, I've been stressed about this appointment. Like, they always tell me something is quick, it's easy, it's not going to hurt, it's just going to be a quick little pig, which again, he reiterated. We get in the car and I'm like, we could have done that over the phone. Like, that was a wasted trip to come all the way out here because it's not in my city for just to have like a 2-minute conversation. And Hubs was like, no, but it's okay. You needed to see him face to face so he could see you. He could see the amount of pain you're in. Like, you needed to have this face to talk about a couple other things too. But it was literally like we were in there for like no more than 10 minutes, right? Right. Like, it was so, but the point was that he understood I was stressed about it. He knew my level of passivity about it, and he was able to bring me down. He was able to help me see a little bit of positive about it, even if there really wasn't any. He was able to flip my mindset. You know what I mean? And that's where that effective communicating comes in, is knowing in the moment where your partner is and what you can do to help. And you may not all the time be able to calm them down. Like there's times when Tony's upset or when I'm upset and he's doing everything he can, the baby, it's going to be okay. And I'm baby, and we're just stuck in our passivity. Like, no, I want to stay mad. I don't care what you're saying about how good it's going to be and it's going to be okay. I want to be mad right now. And sometimes it's going to happen. But at the end of the day, I can still go back to him and be like, babe, thank you for trying to calm me down. Like, I'm sorry I didn't, wasn't able to come out of my anger, but I appreciate you being there for me. And that's what it's about, Like if he asked me what I needed from him, I probably couldn't tell him. He said all that stuff that he said, and I'm like, oh yeah, that does work. But if my therapist had asked me, what do I need from him? I'd probably be like, I don't know, to listen to me, I guess, because I've never had it, so I don't know.
I mean, it can be a loaded question, like I said, but at the end of the day, that answer.
You need to know. You need to know what you need. Yeah.
But yeah, you need to know.
You need to know what you need so that you can communicate to the person that's going to be around you what you need. And you need to help your children understand that. Like, this is such a loaded topic. You need to be helping your children understand what they need when they're upset. Like, we just yell and we scream at them about stuff, but we don't help them understand their feelings. So they never learn how to process their feelings.
Nope.
So they turn into us as adults. They turn into you as adults. Us do not know how to process our emotions. So we yell and we scream, or we shut ourselves off, and we do all of these different things, all because we do not know how to process our emotions. We don't know what we need when we're upset. We either, shelter ourselves. Some people drink, some people smoke. We do all of these other things versus dealing with our emotions. Like Pastor said, several weeks ago, which was, you got to deal with it. The first thing you have to do, she said, first feel. First, you got to feel what you're going through. Most people don't want to feel it. They don't want to feel it. It's past, present. We don't want to feel that pain, that anger. If it ain't happy, we don't want to feel it. And you can't deal with it, you don't feel it. So then you can't heal and you can't move on. Mm-hmm. So, if you're reliving situations, somebody pissed you off 3 weeks ago and it's 3 weeks later and you're still mad about it because you keep rehashing it in your mind, like, come on, how long are you going to be mad about that situation?
Now, here's the flip side to the coin. Here's the flip side. What do you do if you don't know what your partner needs? What do you do? Do you get, what happens a lot is people tend to get upset because we have what's known as expectations. So if we're expecting something and we don't get it instantly, we get agitated about it.
Well, which one? You said if you don't know what your partner needs. So you're talking about.
Okay, if we don't know, if we're not getting, I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you. See, that's what she's also there for. So if we are not getting what we need when we're going through, we will tend to get upset, agitated, irritated, aggravated at our partner because they're not giving us what we need. And then it tends to come out in a different way. It tends to come out not with patience. It doesn't come out with, well, babe, can we have a conversation? A lot of times it does not come out that way because we expect our other half to know what we need. And how dare you not effectively give me what I need when I need it? You should have known. You saw when I said, you saw when I did this, you saw when I said that, you heard rather when I said that, and now, instead, I tell you I'm down and out, I'm depressed and everything, and the first thing you say to me is, what do you want for dinner? Or did you do the laundry? Or, there is no, a lot of times we tend not to know what it is that our partners need. And a lot of times we throw that expectation in when we don't get it. Like, we're full of expectation.
full of expectations.
And don't get it and get upset. But
Right.
that's a conversation, because basically it's one you haven't had if you're at that point. And it is a learning process too. Because again, we've been married for 14, 15 years.
We've been together 15
years.
years.
Been
We've
married
together
for
15 years.
11.
Yes.
So like at the end of the day, we're still learning this.
You might get something.
She's a mess. It takes a minute to learn some things. It takes a minute. I was told a long time ago, it takes a lifetime for you to learn your partner.
Because we're always evolving. Like if you think the person, if I am stupid enough, and I'm gonna say it, if he's stupid enough to think either of us that the person he married 16, 15 years ago was the same person sitting before him, vice versa, we're both stupid.
Yeah, we are.
Because as you go through life, as situations and children and jobs and moving and health and family and friends, you change. You are consistently, we are evolving and changing so the things that I liked 15 years ago, I may not like them today. And if he isn't constantly staying in tune with me and learning me, he might be still trying to take me to Chuck E. Cheese. Maybe we met at Chuck E. Cheese. I was there with my kids. He was there with his, you know what I mean? So I was in love with Chuck E. Cheese pizza. If we are not in tune with each other and consistently learning each other, he's like, you know what? She ain't had pizza in like 3 weeks. That was 3 months. Babe, do you even like pizza anymore? He's still trying to take me out to pizza on our anniversary. And I'm like, babe, I don't like pizza no more. If you do not learn your spouse and pay attention to your spouse consistently, you're going to miss it. And that's where you find people saying, we just feel like we've fallen apart because you're no longer in tune. You are no longer in tune with each other because you stopped dating. You stop paying attention to each other. You stop catering. Tony, we say this to each other all the time. If I'm focused on you and he's focused on me, and we're not talking about work and all of that other stuff and forget, we're talking about in the relationship. If I'm focused on my husband and doing what I need to do or what I think or what he's told me that he needs, and if I am unsure about what he needs, opening my mouth and asking, babe, because every once in a while we have little check-ins, babe. Am I doing what you need? Like, is there anything I can do to be a better wife? He'll ask me, is there anything I can do to be a better husband to you right now? If you're scared to ask that question,
there's something you ain't doing.
There's something you ain't doing. There's something you don't want to do, and you don't want to hear the answer to that question. Like, you don't want to hear your spouse be like, well, truth be told, you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear your wife be like, well, you know.
And the funny thing is they ask the question. But you don't want to get the answer because the answer ain't going to be what you want to hear. So that becomes a problem.
Right.
But again,
how are you going to know if you don't ask? And how are they going to know if you don't tell? And how can you tell if you don't know?
Ooh, I like how you said it.
I'm going to need the undershirt. I'm going to have to run this back.
Fred,
I'm going to need you to
it's got to be a shirt.
That one, because I don't know what I just said. That little quote right there, Fred. I need you to go back afterwards and rewind and find that part. But seriously.
And you're right, Fred. Evolution is what we do as adults, as humans.
As humans.
It's what we do. And it is required, quote unquote. It is required.
You are forever. We are forever growing. We are forever learning. If you are stagnant, there is something wrong. Which is why they always talk about get out of the box, get out of your comfort zone. Nothing grows in a comfort zone. You know what I mean? As far as humans go, if you ask these people who are successful or have a successful marriage or a successful business or anything, if they are not going to tell you that the process was easy peasy, lemon squeezy, they're not going to tell you that because it's not.
Not if they went through the process correctly. They're not.
It's not.
Life is not easy. Relationships are not easy.
They're not.
Which I've mentioned.
No relationship. Kids, family. There is no relationship on this earth, even with your boss and your friends, that is just all happy. And if it is, if you've never been angry at somebody, if nobody's ever been angry, somebody's lying. I'm sorry. I'm going to put it out there. If you're in a marriage or a relationship and y'all are just always, somebody is lying.
Well,
somebody's
even
lying.
To add to that, if you're in a relationship and you don't have issues, that's a problem.
That's what I'm saying.
Because you're going to have issues because you're constantly learning, and you came from two different backgrounds. You came from two different homes. You may even have two different lifestyles. So you have to learn, and some lifestyles buck against others.
Right.
Some things that we do buck against what the other wants to do. It just is what it is. And when you decide to get with somebody, that's something you need to know. I was told, again, something else I was told a long time ago. Discrepancies in a marriage or conflict or arguments or whatever you want to call them. I was told that those help a marriage. They keep a marriage active and exciting because it gives you something to work on, gives you something to work towards. It gives you something. You don't know that you can make it through the fire
unless you go through the fire.
Unless you go.
And we're not saying chaos. We're
Yeah.
not saying, y'all need to be yelling and screaming at each other all the time.
Nope.
We're not saying abuse.
Nope.
We're saying there is no way that two people from two totally different backgrounds, even if y'all grew up in the same church, all of that type of stuff, you still weren't brought up the same. Your home was not the way his home was. I don't care if y'all parents raised you exactly the same. When you two get together, somebody is going to do something that hurts somebody else's feelings. There is going to be a misunderstanding. Put kids into the mix, and then come on. You go to work with people. Thank you. You cannot pass a test unless you're tested. It's a relationship. Come on.
It is.
Let's just be honest and keep it real. Stop hiding how you feel. People do it for fear of being alone. People do it for fear of, like Tony said, and it wasn't so much that he thinks I'm going to walk away from him or something, but I don't want drama. I don't want to upset her. I don't want to argue with her. So it's better for me just to be quiet.
See,
but
and
at
a
the
lot
end
of
of
what
the day,
I said with that was said due to the fact that I know me. And
yeah.
Some of y'all don't know yourselves. Let's keep it real. Some of y'all you think you know, but you don't know because you probably haven't been tested in certain areas to know what it is you're actually going to say or do in that situation. Some people played a big role. Man, I know what I'd do if I was in that situation. I know what I'd say if I was in the
People are good for saying that who ain't never, ever, ever been in that type of relationship.
But see, I
that
know
type
me.
of situation.
So I also know what an argument looks like with her.
Right.
So why would I want to be in one? Why would I? If it's uncomfortable, I love this woman. So if it's uncomfortable, if it raises rift and I know I'm going to come out the side of my neck to her, I may even risk being disrespectful because I'm caught in my feelings. I'm, no. At the end of the day, I'd rather not fight with my wife because that's my queen. Like, and let's keep it real, y'all. I'm gonna say something that's off the cuff, but the queen is the most powerful piece on the chessboard. So at the end of the day, I keep it 100. I keep it real. Like if I'm gonna proclaim she's my wife, then I'm gonna treat her as such, and I'd rather not argue with her. I'd rather not go head to head. And we're gonna have our disagreements. We are. We're gonna have our arguments. We are. But if I can avoid them, right? If I can avoid them, then that's what I did. That's always what I've done.
And that effective communication is where you can learn to avoid arguments. There's a difference between having an argument and having a disagreement. And sometimes with us, one of us might think the other one is at the argumentative level, and the other person's like, "No, I'm not arguing. I'm just adamant about my point. Like I'm just pressing my point." And that's usually me. Actually, that's usually the both.
That's the both of us.
Both.
We're getting
both.
And
he just said it today. He said it several times. Listen, mandarin oranges and sun-kissed oranges are both oranges, right? We might be saying we want an orange, and he's talking about a sun-kissed orange. I'm talking about a mandarin. Oh no, what did we say earlier? We're talking about 25 cents.
This is what we did.
Quarter.
One person, because Tosh and I are, what I've noticed about our arguments is we're saying the same thing. We have the same objectives. We're saying the same thing, but we're saying it two different ways. Because we're saying it two different ways, we're saying because we're adamant about what we're saying it two different ways, but we're trying to achieve the same thing. We're literally saying the same thing. The example I used was, it's like we both have a quarter. I'm calling it a quarter, she's calling it 25 cents. So it could be like, I need a quarter. I'm like, yeah, I need that 25 cents. Well, I have a quarter, but I need 25 cents. Like, we go back and forth. If we paid a quarter, we'll be okay. Yeah, well, all we need is 25 cents. I just said that. I said if we need a quarter, well, I said we needed 25. We go back and forth. So we're saying the same thing, but we're saying it two different ways.
And neither of us can see that the other person's saying the exact same thing, because we only see our way of saying it. We see it through our mind this way. They see it through their mind this way. But guess what? We're doing this.
And then by the time we get to that realization, because a lot of times I'm the one that does it. I'm going to keep it real. I'm the one that will realize that we're saying the same thing. So while we're ending our conversation, I'm like, we're saying the same thing. This woman right here will be like, yeah, but you said, okay, but that's not what I meant. But that's what you said. I understand that's what I said, but now we have clarity that this is not what I meant. I meant what we literally just came into agreement on. Yeah, but well, if you had said it such and such, so that's a whole nother disagreement, because now we're conversing over the fact that I
didn't understand what he said.
Basically, I should have said it differently for her. And now that she's under the realization I didn't mean it that way, and I said it possibly in a way that she didn't understand it, now I'm still wrong. And that becomes a thing. You're still wrong because you said it wrong.
And that's a me problem. Listen, I can admit that's a me problem. When I talked about, being mad and why you still mad and why you can't let it go, that's a me thing. A lot of us cannot let go of the anger. We have a very hard time letting go. Situations resolved. Everybody has apologized. Why you still mad?
Yeah.
Why you still mad? Now listen, because I am adamant about, let me punch you in the face and say sorry. Does your face still hurt? Did it take away the pain? What did sorry solve? Okay. There are some situations where sorry is not going to fix everything, right? But if we're talking about, going to the store and he wants to go left and then right, and I want to go straight and then left, but we're still going to end up at the same spot, is it really worth me being angry over? Like, we were still trying to both get to the same spot. We just had two different ways of getting there. Like, what's the big deal? Like, calm. You know what I mean?
But the reason
it is petty, Fred. It's petty.
The reason why we go there, to get back to her point, is because of the fact that we're both strong-willed and we both want to deliver our points, and we want the other person to see what our point is. And I say this about my wife, and I can still say it. Sometimes it's not so much about I need you to hear me, because I'll say something, we'll have an argument, and she'll be like, you're not listening to me. I'm hearing everything you're saying. No, you're not. I can repeat everything you said. But to her, I haven't listened because I'm not agreeing. So until I say I agree, and then even then, she got to add to the end of that.
And part of that, I'm going to keep it 100%. And some of y'all need to really check yourself. Mm-hmm. Because, like, if you were on earlier, I said my voice as a youngster was squashed.
Right.
As a teenager, my wants, my needs, my desires had no bearing on the people around me. They didn't care what I needed, wanted, what I had to say. So now, since I've been with this man, that has been like, nah, I need you have a voice. You have a right to say what you say, what you want to say. Now it's like, nah, like you got to listen to me. You got to listen to me. You got to listen to me. Listen, so that's that little girl in me being like, no, you got to listen. You got to agree. I'm right. You. That's that little girl in me. And I have to learn how to be able to take the little girl that now has a voice and move her into adulthood to say, listen, you don't have to be right all the time. Your voice was heard. Just like I tell him, I can't tell him it can't always be your way, and then me always want it to be my way. Like, that don't make no sense. Like, you know, me saying, well, if it always has to be your way, what about everybody else? Okay, well, Kai, if you're not happy unless people do it your way, what about everybody else? You know, sometimes you have to find that happy medium, or sometimes it's just being heard. Sometimes it just has to be enough that you got to speak your piece. You got to say what you said. And maybe the other person, there's been times, and I told Tony, and I had to tell him after I told my therapist first, because I got to tell my therapist first. Sometimes I hate admitting he's right. Not because I have to say I'm wrong, but to me, it's just to that little girl in my head, it's going back to handing off like my voice, my power, my whatever to somebody else. So there's times when he'll say something or he'll suggest something, and I will be 100% like, nah, that don't make no sense. Why would I do that? No, that doesn't make any sense. And then as soon as he walks out the room, I'll go do it.
Now, see, to her credit as well, when it comes to me, I've literally told her, if it don't make sense to me, if it's not logical to me, I can't get with it. Like, I can't back it. Like, and that becomes part of our that became part of our walk. I used to say that. I don't say that anymore. She'll still throw it up. But you say, no, I don't say. I haven't said that in years. But I did say it. I did say it. I can't, because if I don't agree with something, then why am I going to try to get with it? Why am I going to? Now with her, one thing that I've never said, and some of y'all will think it's crazy. Some of y'all be like, but why? Like, you stupid, bro. But I've never said no to this woman. I don't say no. She could, I don't think she'd lie about it, but she could ask her. I'm not one to say no to her if she wants something. If she wants to do something. Now, does she still get upset? Yes. Why? Because I do voice my opinion. Communication. So I will say I don't like it. I don't want to get with it. There may be some discrepancy in the middle of that. And she knows I'm not with it. But do I stop her? Hey, if that's what you want to do, then do it. But I'm just letting you know that I don't agree with it, or I'm not with it. Now that puts the ball in her court. She can do what she wants at that point. I relieved myself of the journey. The problem is now she's upset because I'm not with her on it. Now she's upset because I don't agree. But for me, if there's something that I don't agree with, I'm not going to jump on board with it just because. I will go with the flow because it's her. I'll go with the flow. I know and have faith enough to know that she's not leading us down a rabbit hole. So I don't worry about that. But we do have a difference of opinion. And we stated that in the beginning.
Right.
You two people get together, you're from different areas all the way around. Like you weren't raised in the same house for the most part. And I would pray that that's the case. But I mean, you're learning your partner, and she knows I'm not going to agree with everything, but right. She would like me to. And because I don't, that can lead to issues later. That's all that is.
And we've acknowledged most people want to be right? Most people, nobody wants to be wrong. Nobody's like, this morning I think I want to get 3 no's, 3 go the other way, 3 there ain't no way in hell. Yes, let's go out and get it done. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in business, and my, they'll put these little challenges out to us. Go out and get 10 no's today. Meaning go out and talk to 10 people, and because your no's lead to your yeses. So maybe some of y'all need to go start a business and let your person tell you, listen, in business, you're going to get a bunch of no's. You're going to get people that are going to tell you, no, I don't want that. No, I don't want to do that. No, I'm not coming to support you. No, you're going to get that. And that's how you build your, what's it called? Build your backbone or whatever. You got to build that. In a relationship, like he said, he's not going to be 100% with everything I do. I'm not going to be 100% with everything he wants to do, but learning how to effectively communicate why, like he'll tell me, like, listen, I come with a new business idea every other week. There's something Kai wants to do because Kai does not work. because of my health issues. So I am always looking for ways to bring money into the household. We're not millionaires, so I'm not one of them, little chicks just sitting around, what, here's the platinum card and I can just go and spend and just sit back and eat bonbons. Like, no, we are a regular, normal family.
I didn't even know you like bonbons. I'm just saying. See,
and I want to contribute. I want to be able to pull my part. So when I do businesses, it's not just because I'm lazy and I'm looking for something to do. I want to be able to contribute. So if A isn't working, I'm like, okay, well, let's try B. Okay, B isn't working. Okay, let's try C. What do I like to do that I could do? And I'd be like, babe. He'd be like, what now? Because he already know what now. And I have my selling pitch, and I always 100% mean it. Like, and I give it my all, and I'm gonna do what I have to do. And he'd be like, I don't know, babe. I mean, like, it's like the fifth business. But I mean, if you got a plan and you think this one will work, I'm all for helping you. Whatever,
No, I don't always jump into the businesses because a lot of her businesses requires selling stuff, which I don't do. So I might, in some cases, a lot of cases, I'll be like, okay, well, I got you back. If that's what you want to do, I got you. If that's what you want to do. As far as the selling part goes, I struggle with that one. So I'm not, I'm not into that, which I have told her, like, that selling is not what I do, and it does bother her. It does.
Because it's not true.
It is true.
He said his thing. But he's a good people person.
I'm a people person.
He's a good person who can talk.
That means I may have the ability, but I'm not good at it, and I don't like doing it. Just a side note. I used to work at T-Mobile. I'm sorry, I'm throwing y'all out there. I used to work for T-Mobile, and I used to do the call center. So when y'all called in, it was because there was an issue or you needed clarity on your bill or you needed an adjustment on your bill or whatever the case would be. Now, with most phone companies, if you call and you have a discrepancy, they want you to deal with the discrepancy effectively, but they also want you to sell product. Now, I can sit on the phone and I can be like, this is a great product, this, that, but at the end of the day, because I'm not as good at it as some, I get more no's than I would get yes. I'm not good at it. I can talk to somebody on the phone all day long and they love the conversation. But when it comes to selling them a product, I'm not all in on that. And they'll want me to sell stuff. A person will call and be like, I'm $1,500 in the hole on my bill. I need help. I don't know what to do. And whatever help that I could give them, then fine, I'll give it to them. Well, maybe we can do a delay or, maybe we could do whatever we need to do to help you cut this bill down. And, I go through the routes. But at the end of that call, they want me to sell another line, another phone. They want me to sell something. In the back of my head, I'm like, well, this person called because they were in trouble financially. So why am I going to try to sell them anything? I'm not trying to sell them anything. It just felt wrong. Like, okay, let me give you more debt on top of the debt that you can't pay right now. Now you're in there, and it sucked. And I'm like, I can't. And I would get in so much trouble that I left the job because I'm like, I can't. Like, I'm not gonna sell. I do not like selling. I have had to sell vacuum cleaners. In my life, I've had a job where I had to sell vacuum cleaners. That's going door to door.
What I tell him is, okay, this is different because this isn't, taking people who are in the hole or calling you about B and you trying to sell them, C, D, E, and F. This isn't like randomly going. This is like, can you post something? Can you tell the people at your job, hey, here's a catalog? Can you just support your girl? Your girl has a group. Can you be in my group and comment in the group that I'm in?
She gets the back end. I'm okay with it.
But none of his people know what I do.
That's not true. I let her know. That's not true. I let her know that she has all the right in the world. Go ahead and do what you want to do. Whatever makes you feel good, whatever you want to do for you,
Yes.
I totally back you on that.
He does. He always back. And he is that person to be like, so babe, like if I get a win, he's right there cheering along with me. If I'm feeling defeated about something, he's right there with me. Like, it's all right, babe. It's just a setback. Don't worry about that. We're gonna figure it out. Who can you reach out to talk? He is definitely my shoulder to lean on. Would I like him to be a little bit more involved? Because I always be like, listen.
See, she want to create 20 businesses and then have me involved in all them businesses. And
listen,
I'm not.
Ask him who runs his business.
I work every day, 11 hours. I don't want to be doing other businesses.
Exactly.
I don't.
I tell him, he wants to retire. So I be like, babe, you've effectively communicated with me that you want to retire and stop working for somebody else. So listen, between your business and my businesses, we got the key to make this happen. The way I support your business, I need you to support my business. And then, hey, LaTanya, and then we could be a winning couple.
I'm not laughing at what you said, but at the end of the day, if it's not my niche, I know what my niche is, so I work it. And not only that, but being the breadwinner in the house.
Don't be lauding Fred. Listen,
and being a breadwinner in the house, I have to make sure that we're solid. That's my job. To make sure I take that seriously. I tell people what I do for my wife. I am not the one to get into a business that may not make me money this week, but may make me money next week. But then the following week may not make me as much money, or may not make me the money I need. I can't do all that. I know that I go to work, I do a good job, I get paid at the end of the week, and then I can give my money to her to pay the bills. That's it. You know what I mean? That's what I need. I know that my wife is insured. I'm insured. I know that what we need, we can get if we need it. Times can be rough at times. I ain't even going front. But I need that security in my life. So the 40-hour job that I have to work, I'm going to work it until we make the big money. Until then, I can't do a job that might make me. I can only do that when I'm secure at that point. When I'm stable, as LaTanya said, I mean,
he wants stability. Yes,
I do.
And see, but the problem is going to this communication thing is that if he could quit his job tomorrow and do Diamond Star, which is his business, he would. Because he would do it because that's what he wants. And his goal is in 24 months or 12 months, a year, to be able to quit his job and be able to do Diamond Star 20, have that make his money. So what do you have to do to make that happen? You got to get up there and you got to work your business. And some days it's going to be up and some days it's going to be down, but you keep doing it. So I keep telling him, babe, it's the same thing. So it's the same thing with my businesses, because my businesses and your business could be because it's one person doing it. Always steady. And the problem here is that there's 2 cars in our household, because that's some of y'all all of us moved all in together. 2 of my children, my mother, my husband, and myself, plus the dogs and the cats and the baby. We're all here underneath one roof. So, but the 2 people who work,
Fred, that right there, Lord.
The 2 people who have jobs outside the home, they have a car. So the rest of us are stuck in the house all day long. So if I wanted to go out during the day and do things, I would have no way to do it, right? So my businesses that I could be out there doing things during the day with, I can't until we can get a 3rd car. So there's things that I say to him like, babe, there's ways that we can turn this business into a profit or figure out a way between the things that I do, baking cakes, we got the baking cakes, we got the makeup artistry, we got the books, we got what else we do, babe? The Tupperware,
we do music,
Mary Kay,
books,
music,
we
poetry. We do a lot of things. There's no way that we should not be with some type of steady stream of income coming in. That just says that we have to be more consistent. Consistency is everything. And it's hard to be consistent when both our healths are crazy. Like I said, today from 10:30 to 6 o'clock at night, we was at the doctor's, back and forth between doctor's appointments all day long. And you have to definitely, no one's saying leave your job, your steady money for possible money, but help build the possible money into steady money. Do things to help build it so that you can get there, because there are ways to get there.
Here's the thing. With my steady job, that's 11-hour days. So I definitely don't want to do anything when I get home. On my days off, because I've been working 11-hour days, I don't want to do nothing on my day off. Either.
See?
I don't.
So,
logically, I don't.
My question becomes with that communication is, well, how are we going to get from point A to the point
Did she
Z
not take the job
wants
on
to
herself,
get?
though? She took on the
about-
micromanaged job.
But
Well,
you
not micromanaged,
have
but she
goals
did. She
too.
took on her. I do.
Okay, so how
And
are we
I
going to
work
achieve your
them.
goals?
But here's my thing. Like right now, I'm working on a book deal. So I'm trying to finish that book. And I do work on it because I have a deadline. So, okay, with that, that's the thing. Because for me, music is not, it's my passion, but it's only one of them. Because one of my first passions is my book writing. I've been writing since I've been in high school. So I'm a good writer. I don't have a big head. I am a good writer. And it was time for me to try to do something huge. And I'm hoping that if everything goes according to plan and the way it's supposed to, this book will be on the big screen. I'll be great with that. Or not so much the big screen, but it may be on the smaller screen. We're talking Netflix. But I still have to finish it. For me, I'm thinking in that direction. I'm thinking that's where I go. So until that kicks off, I work steady. I let her handle the things that aren't so steady. The businesses that
I saw it. I heard that.
I do. I was gonna say her because she's got a lot of little businesses. She does. She's got. I ain't even going front. I got caught out doing that one. Sorry, babe. But at the end of the day, her businesses are not necessarily going to give us what we need for medical. They're not going to give us what we need financially unless she like puts all of her time and effort into them. Like she's got to really, like she said, we have one car. She's got to be able to get out there and do what she needs to do. She has to be able to with some of her businesses. So it's hard to rely on that. And even if I was here, nothing's guaranteed. I need to know that when I go to work, I get a check at the end of the week because I need that check to survive. And that's the only reason why I'm so heavy on it. Now, if we had mega money and we had like a nest egg that was crazy and we had our own home and everything, then yeah, let me kick that 9 to 5 to the side and let me try to do this because I don't necessarily need the money to do what we want to do right now. So because we already have it, that becomes something that I can literally mess with. And I can be like, okay, let's try to make some money out of this. And if it gets big, it gets big. If not, at least we're not losing out on anything and we're not going homeless and we're not going without food and clothes. That's my thing. My job is to go for the security. As her husband, I'm going for the security first. After that, everything else comes.
And like I said, I'm not in any way suggesting that he leaves his job. I'm not that crazy. I'm just asking for a little bit of help. That's all. That's all I'm asking. I'm just saying, take the potential that is there and help me boost the potential by helping things see more eyes, see more people, get in the hands of more people. That's all I'm asking.
And I can get that. I do. I can get that. I can get that. I want to go back on something that Fred had said earlier, which is that relationships come with baggage. And he also said that can be a problem. Okay. And it can be a problem. But I would venture to say also that every relationship, everybody that enters a relationship, what comes with baggage.
Well, yeah, that was me. I said that.
Okay. Well,
everybody's
got baggage.
Yeah.
Like it's
and that's what I was saying.
Thing.
Some of our communication issues, or some of the way we interpret what people are saying to us, and the way that they're saying things, and the way that we do things, is because of our baggage. Like I said, trigger points.
Yeah.
Trigger things. I might interpret what he's saying differently because of my baggage. He might interpret how he should speak to me or what I'm saying differently in a particular way because of what he's dealt with in the past or past relationships or growing up or whatever. We are all dealing with things, and being able to recognize that is key. It's hard because most of us, like you said, we don't know we have triggers. We don't know we have baggage. We don't know certain things about us.
See, that's what everybody needs to know, because I get tired of watching these people with their podcasts talking about don't get with nobody that's got baggage. Guess what? Everybody got baggage. And you may not know exactly what baggage your person has that you get with, because
Right.
it could be emotional baggage that you don't know. Why? Because again, it goes back to communication, and you haven't communicated what kind of baggage they have until you've gotten into the relationship, and now you want to run, and you want to be one of those people that be like, don't get involved with anybody that's got baggage. Everybody's got some type of baggage, because nobody's had a clean
perfect
life
life.
or
Yeah.
perfect life. Thank you.
No one's had a perfect
Nobody's
life.
had all that. So it's like, okay, if you might as well be telling people to just be single, because there's gonna be some time. You could be with somebody. You could be with somebody who's got mega emotional baggage or mental baggage. I'll go there. And at the end of the day, you've been with them for years
before it shows itself.
before it really shows.
Mhm.
And now you don't invested all that time. You know what I mean? It's not about the baggage as much as it is about how you handle the person with that baggage. Now, if you know they have a particular amount of baggage or a certain type of baggage, you don't want to deal with it, and that's different. Okay, fine. But if they have baggage, like my wife and I, we both came with baggage. I would not marry anybody else. If something happens to her, I'm done, because I feel like I have my queen. I do. I feel like and we can talk emotional baggage, mental baggage, all that other. But at the end of the day, she's come with baggage, and so have I. So we have to resort to, okay, well, is this baggage worth being in a relationship with?
Right.
Is it, can I handle this baggage? And you do that at the beginning. You don't invest years. I invested mega years in somebody who had emotional and mental baggage.
The problem with that is like we were saying earlier, you don't always know what that person's baggage is until you get deeper into relationship. A lot of people don't know what their emotional or physical or whatever baggage. A lot of people think they're fine. You got a lot of people walking through life right now who think they're fine.
And then something happens, and next thing you know, all that baggage is unloaded.
Mm-hmm. Or they don't understand that the reason why they act the way they do
is because
of past baggage. Like, yep. You're a hurt soul, and you don't understand that the reason why you're so guarded, the reason why you snap so easily, the reason why you date somebody for like 3-4 months and then you disappear is because of stuff that happened to you before. Yeah. Like, you don't understand that. This is why I think everybody needs therapy. Everybody needs to see a therapist.
I had a therapist that told me that they didn't feel that a therapist should go without it, because they have their own things they deal with, and then they take on everybody else's. So right. Even therapists feel they need therapists. They have somebody to talk to. Like, there's nothing wrong. That's stigma about therapy. And the woman that I dealt with years ago, who had mental and emotional, and had suffered probably some physical as well. Well, she did. I know she did. I didn't know the full extent. I knew the physical she had went through, but I didn't know the emotional or mental baggage that she carried until we really started diving in. And I found out later on that I was being abused emotionally. Like, I didn't even think that was a thing. And as a guy, I didn't look at it that way. Like, but I literally was being abused emotionally. And at the end of the day, again, like, you don't know until you know.
Right.
And it sucks to have to deal with some stuff. And there was no communication. And what I was gonna say with that is, I even ask this woman about going to therapy, about going to get counseling, anything. And there was such a stigma over it in her mind that she blatantly was like, no, I don't need that. We're not going to that. No, I don't want to be part of that. If you want to go, go. I'm not going. Like, whoa. Well, if you're not willing to work and help the relationship, then we don't have one, because that entails communication, which you're not willing to do. So without communication, a relationship is dead. It's dead. You can't have a relationship without communication. That does not exist. That's not a thing. You can think it's a thing all you want. It's not a thing. You're in for a rude awakening. Communication is everything to a relationship.
Right.
So, yeah, when it comes to the baggage I had, because I had my own, and I'm discovering through therapy what my baggage was. Like, I didn't know how bad my situation was. I'm up here doing and saying things that resemble my mother in the past, and I love my mother to death. I do, but there's some things that I've gone through, and at the end of the day, I'm starting to learn things through therapy that I didn't know. Like, whoa, that impacted me, really? What? That impacted me? Are you kidding? I never even thought about it, but it was true. So you got to understand, everybody comes with baggage.
Which is why I say it's important, even when dealing with your children and being around, younger people, your nieces, your nephews, your friends, kids, whatever, to be mindful of what we say, what we do, how we acknowledge their emotions. Because like I said, I wasn't given the right to have emotions. I wasn't given the right to have feelings. I wasn't given the right to share my voice. So when you do that to your children, you basically are teaching them their emotions are wrong. It's wrong to cry. It's wrong to be sad. It's wrong to be mad. Instead of helping them learn how to express their feelings in a productive way, how to use their words to say why they're mad, why they are upset, which is teaching them how to effectively communicate.
And that's the thing with me. That's a big thing with me, because I don't know about y'all. I'm just gonna speak for me. I feel like the generations under us, the younger generations, I don't think that half of them know what respect or consideration is. And I don't feel it. Now, do they have a right to? I had an instance where a young person, slamming doors, and I was told, well, they have a right. Kids have a right to express themselves. No, you don't. Not like that. You do, but not like that. Like, you don't pay any bills to be slamming doors. Like, that's not what we do. If you wanna show your emotions, and I know there are people that will either disagree or have an issue with what I'm saying, but if you have the right as a young person, you have a right to show to voice your opinion. You have a right to show your feeling, to express your feelings. The problem is they don't do it, as you said, productively. So if you don't do it in respect,
and they have to be taught that, and that's what they're we weren't taught it. We were taught, growing up, children are seen and not heard. So, be quiet, don't nobody care, get over there in the corner somewhere and get out my face, go outside and play. I ain't got time for you. You know what I mean? And it doesn't teach you today, it's all about feelings and emotions, but still they aren't being taught how to effectively communicate, how to respectably communicate. We got parents who let their kids be disrespectful and dare you to say something to them.
You know why?
Why?
It's because the parents don't know how to communicate.
Yeah.
So you can't teach what you don't know.
Right.
You can't teach
until you learn
opinions. And a lot of times what we have done, or what we had done to us as either children or parents, like, it's either you're going to do what I tell you to do and that's it, or we were the victims, where we were taught, shut up. We were taught, like you said, or we were taught,
and we passed it on to our children, who were passing it on you know, or they've gone the other way and now it's a free for all. It's no, you just do what you want because I wasn't allowed to say and do what I want. So now I'm not going to hold that over your head. So now you can do and say what you want. So then
Not
you
that
end up
the
with a
older,
generation
right.
that's
Not that the older generation didn't have some good lessons that they did teach.
right.
I had an uncle, like I was good for listening to stuff, and I would family meetings, I'd be like around the corner just, you know, listening, and my uncle would be like, listen, go play. This is grown folks' business. Some things are grown folks' business that
Right.
some kids don't need to know about. You know, some things you don't need to talk about in front of them. But our kids are not being taught right. So now we do have those disrespectful kids who I'm going to say what I want to say, how I want to say it. You know, they're going to tell their parents off. They're going to cuss them out. They're going to do what they want to do. And in my space, no, you're not.
Right. Right.
In my space, no. You don't get to slam doors. You don't get to throw things across the room. You don't get to swear. You don't get to yell at me. You don't get to do none of that. If you want to be frustrated, fine. Let's have a conversation. But you're not going to do it in a disrespectful way.
Right. And that's with anybody, but especially your child. You have to teach them how to effectively, respectably communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Effectively, but with respect, because you want them to know that their voice matters, their emotions matter, but you also want them to learn how to express that in a respectable way, because that teaches them how to move forward and to do that same thing with their peers, with their spouse, on the job, in school. And when you don't teach them that, this is when we have children who just act out, do whatever they want, don't know how to effectively say what's going on. Then they turn into adults who do the same thing. And that's why we're having this conversation.
Same thing.
That's why we're having this conversation.
Do the same thing.
Yes.
I'm one that believes in allowing people to have a voice. I do. I believe in that. But you're gonna do it respectfully.
Right.
And that's the bottom line to that. And going back all the way to the beginning of our of the podcast that we started with Trailblazers, that's always been my thing, is communication. And I'll always end my shows with that. Communication. Got communication.
Communication is key. And honest communication. Honest communication. You have to be willing to hear what the other person is saying. But if you're speaking, you have to be willing to be honest, not disrespectful. Not that I'm gonna say what I want to say and I'm gonna say how I'm gonna say it, and I don't care if you like it. If you don't care if I like it, then you don't love me and you don't care about me. If you just want to say what you want to say and be damned if I like it, be damned if my feelings are hurt, you can tell me I'm doing something wrong without hurting my feelings. You can critique me without being rude. You know what I'm saying? There's ways to effectively say what you're saying to someone or getting a point across that needs to be getting across without being rude, without hurting somebody's feelings. And okay, let me not say that, because you can't always avoid hurting somebody's feelings, because that person might have baggage that no matter what you say, Tony used to say about me, no matter what I say, no matter how I say it, no matter how calm my voice is, you're still going to be upset. I'm still going to do something to make you defensive. He wasn't lying. I just admitted he was right again. But yeah, there's just sometimes no matter what you do, but if you don't care about hurting somebody's feelings, that's something different. If I'm somebody who's supposed to be somebody important to your sister, your friend, your niece, your daughter, your spouse, and you don't care how you talk to me, that says more about you than it does about me. That's not effective communication.
That ain't a lie. Well, we want to round up because we have something we gotta take care of real quick. But we enjoyed this conversation. We enjoyed having you with us because that means everything.
Always.
If you get to watch the replay and you want to add comments, please do. By all means. Join us again for Sofa Chats. We are here every other Wednesday on the odd Wednesdays, first and third of the month, Wednesday at 8:00. To the Point with T.Wade, that's me, will be on. opposite Wednesdays of Sofa Chat. So check us out. Check us out.
And if you'd ever like to be a guest, you have something that you want to talk about, hit us up, hit up trailblazersradio@gmail.com and be like, hey, I would like to be on the Tony and Kai show, or I would like to be on Tony's show. I got some things that I would like to talk about. Or maybe there is another host on the Trailblazers Network that you would like to do. We also have sponsorships where we can help you get the word out about your brand or your event or your product. So definitely hit us up. Hit up, like I said, Trailblazers Radio. You see it up there somewhere, wherever you are watching us from. The name Trailblazers Radio is there. It's trailblazersradio@gmail.com. And you can find out whatever you would like to know about the show.
I'd like to know
about the show.
Until then, we love you.
We love you.
And we wish you many blessings.
Many blessings.
And many happy days to come.
Yes. Go out there and make somebody smile.
Make
Remember,
somebody
you
smile.
never, as my best, not my best friend, but as one of my friends says, MBS Malay, she was my first guest. You never know what somebody else is going through. So be kind. So you see somebody, being difficult. Maybe they are going through something right now, and maybe your kindness can help pull them out of it.
Yep.
Be kind.
And to quote one of my good friends, the Joker, why so serious? Hey, take time to laugh. Take time to enjoy life.
Enjoy life.
It's rough enough. You don't need to make it any harder. Don't be so serious.
There you go.
All right, until later. We love you all. Peace.
Oh, what are you doing?
Uh-oh. What am I doing?
I don't know what he's doing.
She don't know.
Bye.
Push the wrong button.